Welcome to online classes, Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. Subject is Farm Tractor and Construction Equipments. Fifth semester. Chapter is Agriculture Implements for Tractor, that is Unit 2, and we are in session 2. So contents is cultivator, cultivator function, cultivator construction, cultivator working, cultivator types, cultivator working demo, multiple choice question, references, etc. We'll discuss in the this session. So before going to this, that is cultivator, so we'll briefly explain about what you have studied in the earlier sessions. So for example, you have studied the farming operations. In the farming operations, you have studied seed bed preparation. So seed bed preparation already you have studied, that is before seeding we have to make the soil in a favorable condition for the seeding purposes. So that is we have to make that hard soil. After taking the crop, what happens? The soil becomes hard or compact. So we have to make it into loose soil. So then only we'll get good yield. Next, seeding. Already we discussed. I think we have studied that is seeding. Seeding is a art of placing of the that is seeds or the in a particular place or particular area, particular depth and particular rows. So that is the art of. So already we have studied that is seeding is in between the two plants there should be some space, and also in between the two rows there should be some space also. And third one is intercultural operation. So in the farming operation, third topic is intercultural operation. In the intercultural operation, what happens after the germination of the that plants? What happens? The along with that crop, the weeds and grasses will be grow in the particular crop. So at that time, what happens? We have to remove that weeds. So already you have studied that is weeds or grass is nothing but in ಕನ್ನಡ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಸ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಕಸ ಅಥವಾ ಕಳೆ. ಆ ಕಳೆಯನ್ನ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು. ಕಳೆಯನ್ನ ತೆಗಿಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ? ಕ್ರಾಪಿಗೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಾಟರ್, fertilizers, sunlight, etc. So at that time, what happens? Whatever will supply, it is utilized by these weeds and that grass. So for that purpose we have to remove. So it is intercultural operation. Next one is plant protection. So after this one, we have to protect the plant from the that insects and pests. Insects and pests. For that purpose we have to use the pesticides and insecticide on by spraying that insecticides and pesticides to the plant layer. At that time what happens? We can save that plants from that particular diseases. Farming equipments. In the farming equipment, many equipments are there. Cultivator, already I have discussed, that is cultivator. Briefly we have studied, and also now we have to study that one in detail. We'll discuss after explaining this briefly. That is disc plow. Disc plow already we have discussed, that is you have to study it in the last session. That is disc plow is nothing but the disc is provided to reverse the soil. Upper soil should come lower side, lower should soil come to the upper side, and it produces the slice along with the roots of that weeds and grass, whatever it is. So this is the primary tilling operation, tillage operations. Next one is moldboard plow. So the same function, the plow, that is reversing of the slice or reversing of the soil from lower side to the upper side to the lower side. Harrow plow. And next one is harrow plow. Harrow plow is nothing but now Kannadadag ಏನಂತೀವಿ ಹರಗೋದು ಅಂತೀವಿ. So that is what happens after taking this is also primary tillage equipment. Primary tillage equipment. This is only used for to prepare the seed bed preparation, and plow is also used for the seed bed preparations. So seed bed preparation is nothing but we have to make that hard soil and or compact soil into the loose soil for the seeding purposes. So next one is rotary plow. Another plow is provided, that is a rotary plow. It is also called the even a ರೈತರು ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ರೋಟೋವೇಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So that is it works, that is reversing the soil as well as pulverizing, and that is mixing. Pulverizing is nothing but mixing, and is done by this rotavator. So thresher is there. After that one, the thresher is there. ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ರೈತರಿಂದ ರಾಶಿ ಮಷೀನ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. After the taking the crop, so we have to separate the grains from the that husk or straw. So for that purpose, what happens? We are using the threshers. It separates the that grain from the that straw and husk. So last one is that is a press sprayer to protect the plants from the insects and pests. So we are using the insecticides and pesticides. For spray these liquids or chemicals, we are using the sprayers. We are using the sprays. So many types of sprayers are there. Manually operated sprayer is there, and machine operated light motor machine operated sprayer is there, and also for the use operations or to cover more area, we are using the that sprayer which is connected to the PTO shafts. So this is about the briefly what you have studied in the earlier sessions. Now we have to go into the our contents. So that is cultivator. Cultivator, it is an implement for intercultivation with laterally adjustable tines and or disc to work between the crop rows. This can be used for seed bed preparation and for the sowing with the seeding attachments. The tines may have provision for vertical adjustment also. So it is an implement for intercultivation. Already we have studied, that is intercultivation is nothing but, so what happens along with the crop, that is unwanted weeds and the grass will grow with the crop. At that time what happens, so it is dangerous or also it is poisonous to the that crop also. So for that purpose we have to remove these weeds and the grass, otherwise what happens, the yield will be less and also it is harmful to the that crop. For that purpose we have to remove. So to remove that weeds and grasses, what you call it, that is intercultivation. ಈಗ ಬೆಳೆ ಬಿತ್ತಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾವು, ಬೆಳೆ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ, ಗಿಡ ಬೆಳೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೂನು ಏನ್ ಬೆಳಿತಾವು, ಸಣ್ಣ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಗ್ರಾಸ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಬೆಳಿತಾವ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಕಸ ಅಥವಾ ಕಳೆ ಅಂತಾರ. ಅದ್ರ ಕಸ ತೆಗೆದು ಅಥವಾ ಕಳೆ ತೆಗೆದು ಅಂತಾರ. ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗಿಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಸೊ if you are not removing that one, means what happens, so that is the whatever the nutrients will supply to the plants or the crops, so that it may be water or it may be fertilizer or it may be sunlight. At that time what happens, it is utilized by that particular weeds and that particular small trees or grasses. So for that purpose intercultivation is very important to protect the crop or the plants. So this cultivator also can be used for the preparation, bed preparation, seed bed preparation. So it is also used as a primary tillage to prepare the seed bed. ನಾವು ಸೀಡ್ ಬೆಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿತ್ತುಕಿನ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾವು ಬೆಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಬೆಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಸೋಯಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಪಸಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಿತ್ತುದಕ್ಕೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇದನ್ನ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಿತ್ತುದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸೋಯಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ರೊವಿಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದು ಏನಿದೆ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಏನ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವೀಲ್ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ವೀಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಡ್ in the first unit 1. That is, in the unit 1 you have studied that one. Andre to avoid the damaging of the crop, so we have to adjust the wheel track. So the wheel should be run in between the rows. It should not spoil that crop or the crops or the plants. So for that purpose, what happens, that tractor should be in the open area. There should not be any crop or the plants. So for that purpose, what happens, so we have to adjust that one. So like that one, so like that tractor adjustment, so here also the cultivator adjustment is there. So that is time adjustment. Laterally time adjustment. Time is, so ಅವು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತದಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಿರ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗದಂಗ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲಿ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಟೈಮ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ದ ಗಿಡಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೈಟ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಅದ ಹೈಟ್ ತಕ್ಕ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ವೈಲ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಬೆಳೆಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂತ ನಾವು ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ ನ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದೇನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ನಮ್ಗ ಬೆಳೆಗೆ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಸೊ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜಸ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್. Definitely we will get less yield. For that purpose, what happens, so the cultivator is adjusted laterally as well as vertically. So then only we can save that crops from the damaging of that cultivator. Functions. What is the function of this cultivator? Destroy the weeds in the field. Destroy the weeds. Andre destroy the weeds. Adana kasavanna destroy ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಕಸನ್ನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೀಡ್ಸ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಸ ಅಂತೀವಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕಳೆ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಅದನ್ನ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ, ನಾಶ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. ಏರಿಯೇಟ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ಸ್. ಏರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ, ಸೊ ಲೂಸ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್. ಇಫ್ ದ ಲೂಸ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್, when will supply the water or the fertilizer, so due to that loose soil, the whatever you supply the water or fertilizer, it will reaches easily to that roots of that crop or the plants. So for that purpose, so that is the advantage of that seed bed preparation. Now seed bed preparation yak madಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ to reach that nutrients, whatever the nutrients will supply to that crop, so it should reach to that particular crop roots. So then only will get the good yield. Conserve moisture by preparing the mulch upon the surface. So if the loose soil is there, ತೇವಾಂಶ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀರಿನ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಮಣ್ಣಿನೊಳಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರ ಅದರಿಂದ ಬೆಳೆ ನಮಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಗಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಟು ಗ್ರೋ ದಟ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್, ಸೊ moisture should be there in that soil. To sow seed when it is provided with sowing attachment. ನಾವು sowing attachment ಅನ್ನ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಬಿತ್ತುವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. We can use this cultivator for the seeding purposes to prevent surface evaporation and encourage rapid infiltration of rain water into the soil, depending upon the type of water available for the implement. So what happens, ಈಗ ಮಳೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀರು ಹರಿದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಯೂಸ್ಲೆಸ್, ಎದಕ್ಕೂ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಹೋಗುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಫ್ ದ ಲೂಸ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್, so at that time what happens, due to that loose soil, whatever that rain water is there, so the rain water is absorbed by that plant roots, and also it goes to the inner layer of that soil. So for that purpose, seed bed preparation is very important before that seeding. So for that purpose, seed bed preparation we have to do, otherwise what happens, so it will not, the nutrient will not reach to that roots. Last point, the cultivator can be classified as rigid cultivator and spring loaded cultivator. So basically the cultivators are divided into rigid cultivator and spring loaded. So in the rigid construction, a ties is hinged to the frame. A tines is hinged to the frame. Just you see here. So the hitch point is there. That hitch point is connected to the top link of the that tractor. So hydraulic system ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಿರ್ತೈತಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಆ ಟಾಪ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಗೆ ಈ ಹಿಚ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅನದರ್ ಟು ಎಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಈ ಎಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದ steel rod is there, so it is not painted in the that figure. Just you see there in the left side of the that figure. So before that hitch is connected, just you see it, so it is not painted, that is attachment is given, so that points are connected to the left and the right arm of the that hydraulic system. So basically it is a 3-point hitch connection. It is a 3-point hitch connection. So first one is 2-point and another 2 points is left and right arm of the that hydraulic system. So basically this implement or the agriculture implements are operated with the help of the that is hydraulic system. So see here. So the time size also it is fixed to the that particular frame. A frame is a frame ಒಳಗ integral ಒಳಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ integral connection ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. It is fixed with the nut and bolt. Just to see that one. So that is fixed to the that frame. So here what is the disadvantage in this one? Whenever it is encountered to the irregularity of the or any obstacles in the soil, at that time what happens, there may be damage of the cultivator, there may be damage of the tanks, or there may be chances of the breaking of the tanks. So for that purpose what we have to do, so we are using the that is spring loaded. So it is we'll discuss later. So here what happened, rigid cultivator basically consists of 3-point hitch. So just you see in the left side or it may be in the right side of the that ridge. In the left side, that is I section is used for the construction of the rigid cultivator, and here in the right side, so we are using the tubular. We are using the tubular section. We are using for the that is the construction of the thing. So basically, so the tines are connected front and rear side of the that frame itself. It is connected to the front and rear side in a alternate system. So for that purpose what happens, it covers almost more area. So here also the sovel is consists, that is the sovel is nothing but it is the material to penetrate the soil. It is material to penetrate the soil. Depending upon the type of soil, it may be hard soil, loose soil, whatever it is, depending upon that we are using the type of the sovels. These sovels are detachable. So just you observe in the left or right side of the figure, so these sovels are fixed with the nut and bolts. So that sovel is what you are seeing in the black color. So just you see in the figure in the black color. So the frame and the tines are in the red color, and the 2-point hitch, lower 2-point hitch, that is in the steel is there. It is not painted. Just you see here. Hitch is a top link. So that is a top hitch point is connected to the hydraulic system. So this is about the construction of the rigid cultivator. So this is about another cultivator, what you call it, spring loaded cultivator. So what happens in the earlier cases, what happens if you are using the rigid cultivator, whenever the tines is encountered to the any obstacles in the soil, it may be root or it may be stones, at that time what happens, there may be damage to the that tines, as well as there may be chances of the breaking of the tines. To avoid that one, what we are using here now, that is a spring loaded cultivator. The tines are connected to the that spring. One end of the spring connected to the frame, and another end of the that spring is connected to the that tines. Totally 2 springs are connected to the one tines. Then so the tines is a flexible. The tines is flexible with the help of the springs. So what is the advantage here? Whenever the tines is encountered to the any obstacles, which is in the soil during cultivation. At that time what happens, the tines is stretched with the help of the spring. When it is encountered the tines, at that time what happens, the spring is activated. The spring stretches or pulls the that particular tines. When it pulls that tines, what happens, it expands. When it expands, so it overcomes that obstacles. When it overcomes the obstacles, definitely it avoids the damaging of that particular tines. So like that, so this spring loaded is only to avoid the damaging of the implements. So for that purpose we are using the spring loaded cultivator. So working, already we discussed, that is when tines are encountered into the any obstacles like stones or roads, the springs operate the tines to ride over the that obstacles, thus preventing damage. On passing over the obstacles, the tines are automatically reset and work continues without interruption. So whenever encounters and it overcomes that obstacle, again after overpassing that obstacle, again it fixes its original position, with the original depth. Last point is the cultivator may be fitted with 7, 9, 13 times or more depending upon the requirement. The cultivator times are always in odd numbers. The cultivator times are in always odd numbers like 7, 9, 11, 13, etc. Depending upon the requirements, we are using these type of that cultivator. So always they are in odd numbers. So next one is multiple choice questions. A cultivator all times swing back when obstacle encounter is. ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಬಂತಂದ್ರ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಕತಿ, ಸ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಯಾವ್ದ್ರೊಳಗ ಎ ಸ್ಪೈಕ್ ಟೂತ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್, ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್, ರಿಜ್ಡ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್, ಡಿ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದಾನ, ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ವೆನ್ ಆಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಕತಿ, ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅದ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಎದ್ರೊಳಗ ಆಗ್ತೈತೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ in the spring type cultivator. It is only applicable or present in that spring loaded cultivator. Second one, the cultivator fitted with the tines in odd number, even number, equal number, none of this. The cultivator ಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ ಆ ಫ್ರೇಮಿಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಿಂದೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಮುಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವು ನಂಬರ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಆಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೋ, ಇವನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಅಥವಾ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಅಥವಾ ಇವು ಯಾವ ಅಲ್ವೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್, ಸೊ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಡ್ ನಂಬರ್. ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ದ ಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಆಡ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. So see here, this is the working of cultivators. Just you see here. Now see here. This is here. This is the working of the cultivator. This you see now. Can observe where it is connected. So that is left and right arms are connected and the top link is connected there. So that is about the working of the cultivator. Demo it is given, you know. So next, in cultivator, wheels are used to maintain a draft, depth and draft, none of these. So that is where it is used. It is for the draft purposes or depth purposes, and depth and draft or none of these. So basically the cultivator wheels are used. A wheels ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ cultivator ಗೆ wheels connect ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರ. So to avoid the shaking of the implements, so that is shaking is nothing but draft, to avoid that drafting. So two wheels, left and right, two wheels are provided to maintain the draft. Mounted cultivators fitted with PTO shaft, drawbar, hydraulic lift, none of these. ಈಗ ಮೌಂಟೆಡ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರ, ಪಿ2 ಶಾಫ್ಟಿಗೆ, ಡ್ರಾಬರ್ಗೆ, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಲಿಕ್ ಲಿಫ್ಟಿಗೆ, ನನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸೊ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೌಂಟೆಡ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ ಇಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಕ್ ಲಿಫ್ಟ್. ಅದೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, ನಾವು ಆ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ನ ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೈಡ್ರಾಲಿಕ್ ಲಿಫ್ಟಿಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಟೈಮ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್, ಸೀಡಿಂಗ್, ಥ್ರೆಶಿಂಗ್, ಟಿಲ್ಲೇಜ್, ನನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್. The time cultivator ಎದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟಿಲ್ಲೇಜ್ ಪರ್ಪಸಸ್. ಟಿಲ್ಲೇಜ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೀಡ್ ಬೆಡ್ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಟಿಲ್ಲೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಕಲ್ಟಿವೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಡ್ಯಾಶ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟಿಲ್ಲೇಜ್ ಪರ್ಪಸಸ್. So these are the resources and the websites what we have used for to prepare the this one. And next, that is farm tractors and other things, the equipment, and that is the farm machines and equipments, Nakra CP, Danparaya, construction equipments and its management, SC Sharma, farm machinery and mechanism, Donald, construction and planning and equipment, Satnarayana. So these are the books which are referred for the that particular preparation of this session. So these are the staffs. So moderator Balchandra K, and these are the experts, subject experts, that is Srishel, Nuchi, Vinay Chandra and Nanjay Gowda. So all these are the our subject experts, and these are the developers, content developers. So that is content developer 1, that is Srinivas K, Firoz Dodmani, Mohan Pioli, Sharat Chandra, Vinit Singh and Vinod Kumar, etc. These are the different staffs involved to prepare this particular contents or the expert. Okay, thank you and